Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderfall Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today we've got another little news video for you, and yes, I'm doing this a little bit behind. I always like to sort of spend my thoughts thinking about stuff as we go along. Also, it's been a bit of a hectic week. We're opening a brand new restaurant where I work, so that's taking up a bit of my time this week, and it's proving to take up a lot, just a lot out, just getting more stressed about that. But anyway, we've got some fantastic Warhammer news. So we got a couple of teaser community articles from Warhammer community talking about all the different things coming with Broken Realms. So let's get started. We'll look into the new one, which is the first rules trailer, and then we'll go look into the one talking about Morathi and the Ardenef Deep Kingdom in a bit more detail after this. So this one starts off talking about the Daughters of Kane, that they're the big shifters and they're the main player in Morathi, as you would expect, the book being named after their, well, maybe soon to be patron deity, Morathi. And so we get to learn a little bit about the Xanthar Kai ability, or temple rather, and its ability. We've got Kane's Essence, which you add one to the bravery characteristic of every Xanthar Kai Malusai and Xanthar Kai Kinarai Harpy units, which is pretty cool. Plus one bravery might not sound like a lot, but in Daughters of Kane, it's pretty cool because bravery is what's used when determining your ability to do double damage on Mind Razor. I had a little bit of a mental blank on what I was trying to say there. So this could come in useful. It's, you know, it's no way near groundbreaking or anything, but it's a cool little buff. And it's worth remembering with all of these things that they actually do cut them. These are brand new written ones that they copy and cut or whatever, and they take bits out of. We've seen this in the past where they've taken bits out. People have asked like major questions, or they've put in wrong parts, or they've missed middle texts. So this might not be all the ability, or there may be more abilities. We don't know a complete thing, but it's a nice little buff that can help some situations throughout the army. Then goes on, even better if your Malusai Harpies stay close to your heroes, they get bonus attacks and melee. So that's cool. You can get this command ability. You can use this commanded ability once per phase when you pick a friendly Xanthar Kai Malusai or Harpy unit to fight, and it's wholly within 12 inch of a hero. Obviously, Xanthar Kai, like, we'll just assume you know that I'm saying that keyword there. If you do so, you add one to its attack characteristics and melee weapons used by that unit until the end of the phase. That's pretty cool. Extra attacks for those unit, which is nice. That's extra attacks to the Crystal Touch. As well, for like combat snakes, Blood Sisters, I'm pretty sure I got the name right. And then you've got a cool little Watercolor Battalion now. This is an interesting one. I definitely don't see this being a battalion you'll see in competitive play very much at all. 2 Blood Rat Shrines, 2 units of Blood Sisters or Bloodstalkers in any combination, and 2 Kinarai Harpy units. In your hero phase, you can effectively sacrifice models and heal wounds back to your Blood Rat Shrines to keep them doing more damage. Definitely not one of the most competitive battalions out there for competitive play, but for narrative, this is really cool. I really like the Blood Rat Shrine model. My wife, who plays Daughters of Kane on the channel, she really likes the Blood Rat Shrine. That's her thing. So this would be a cool excuse to get that model painted up and on the table, just to run this in some fun narrative scenarios. And it just talks about what this can do and like why you want to heal wounds on the Blood Rat Shrine. Is to make sure your enemies feel the full force of the aura of agony that the model can put out. So then we get looking into my personal favourite, and that is Cities of Sigmar. Obviously, you might have seen that I've recently built this dragon right here. It's cool to see that I built the actual correct version. I've got it just sitting over there, and I can't wait to get her painted up. I've also got some Dark Shards and some Dread Spears on the paint table as well. But we start looking into the City of Misthaven. And so we talk about Misthaven narcotics. Now these are, you can pick and choose. They're sort of like additional artifacts that your heroes can get, but they're once per game abilities. So really cool. And you get more the same way you get relics in an army. So a little something extra. A couple of ones they show here is like add one to hit rolls, and you can ignore modifiers. I think this is really cool. Having Witch Mist on like a Dread on Black Dragon has a 3+ save normally. Like there can be clutch turns where You can keep him alive really, really well, just giving him effectively ethereal for a turn. And there's 4 other Dark Temptations as well. And like the +1 to hit rolls is really cool as well. Like that puts that dragon down, or you can make some other characters really cool. I like that. Like them a lot. I'll be interested to see the others. Just going all they are, I reckon there'll be a +1 to wound in there, maybe some bonus movement, maybe bonus to charge, and they all seem like they're pretty basic. So it'd be interesting whether they're just going to all be basic, I guess, like these ones sort of are. I mean, that's a slight twist on +1 armor instead of making it ethereal instead of +1 armor. But be interesting to see how they go with that. And then we start looking into the Stormcast Eternals, who we know are going to be getting a bunch of different battalions, all based around Stormkeep garrisons and a Stormkeep of the Anvils of the Heldenhammer, which obviously are the Storm host responsible for founding Anvilgard, where a bit of the narrative is going to take place. But the coolest thing is we get this Mortal Auxiliaries. Now, this isn't complete. As it stands, we don't know whether they're going to get like the Storm host abilities and be able to be affected by like Storm host ability specific abilities. Say for the purpose of like allowing shooting units to double tap from Anvils of the Heldenhammer, etc. But you can add 1 Cities of Sigmar unit in every force, so it's effectively a reverse Cities of Sigmar, which is really cool. And you can add 1 to the Bravery characteristic if they're near some Liberators, because they get much more courageous around Liberators. So, nice. Going down, Idenef Deepkin. This is a pretty cool sort of ability. You get 2 sharks that stick around the king, and they sort of get like the shrug off ability, where if they're near him, they can take some mortal wounds for him. And he is on a 2+ as well, so could keep that king alive pretty well. And then lastly, we're looking at some Slaves to Darkness stuff. Once again, it is Khorne. Cool for me. I wish they'd just do some other stuff. It's always Khorne for some reason. Always. I like it. At the start of the hero phase, you can pick 1 friendly unit on a 1 to 2. The predator is answered. On the 3+, you can reroll hit rolls for attacks made with melee weapons. Rerolls to hit is cool. And I guess the coolest text about this is down below. There's actually going to be prayers coming out for Tzeentch, Nurgle, Slaanesh, and Chaos Undivided. That, to me, is the big thing here for Chaos. Like, prayers for everyone in Chaos is awesome. I'd love to see, like, what Tzeentch priests are. And be, like, interesting, like, does this give other characters within Tzeentch lists some use, and like Nurgle priests, Slaanesh priests, and Undivided. I'm really looking forward to that part of Chaos. I've got a Tzeentch army painted up over on the shelf. Well, actually, no, Tzeentch is in the cabinet behind me. But be definitely interesting to see what those prayers are and how they're going to work with all those different factions. And then we'll go look at this one. So this is Morathi Unleashed. Now, the information we've been told so far is that Morathi is going to have both models available on the table at once. And so this is what it goes into. 1 soul, 2 bodies. So both of them are on the table, and effectively the little Morathi cannot be sort of wounded in any way. If the Shadow Queen is on the battlefield, I believe that's the little one. Wounds and mortal wounds that would be allocated to this model are instead allocated to the Shadow Queen, and have no effect on this model. Sorry, yeah. This is the other way around. Effectively, if you wound one of them, the other one like takes the wounds for it. In addition, the Shadow Queen is on the battlefield. Any ability spell, it just does 3 wounds instead of like outright killing her. And yeah, effectively, if you kill the one that can be wounded, both of them are removed from the battle. So it's like these 2 bodies, same soul. It's rather cool. They've done this twinning sort of lore before, because you have the Iliathia. I've just read a book about it, which you can go find the review of for the Rumlords review. But Iliathia have like twinning of a luminous soul into 2 different parts, and this is sort of like a cool extension of that. But then you've got this Fury of the Shadow Queen, and you can add 1 to the attack characteristic of melee weapons used by friendly Kinara Harpies in Melusa, whole of an 18-inch. Now, you might realise that we had a command ability that's +1 attack just before as well. So we could get +2 attacks on Melusa and Kanara units. They're starting to look really good now. Perhaps that battalion might not be too terrible, simply for the fact of lowering your drops, maybe. Be interesting to see. Points will probably change on Morathi, I would say, maybe. But it's cool that you can use all your bulk. Morathi can sling spells and use her unique command ability. And it's sort of like their pile in and all that. And Morathi, a lot of hers are unchanged. There's a lot of things that have changed, I guess. Changed but been updated. So not sort of changed in the way they're working, but more changed in the way they're worded, is what they sort of say in the article. Getting at, like, she works pretty much the same, but she's just got more updated wording, and it's more in line with modern Age of Sigmar wording and talk. But then we get to look at her profile, and her weapon, she's been made a lot more reliable, like Heartrender with 8 attacks, 3 3s, Rend 2, damage 3, amazing. A lot of the randomness is gone from her weapons. The Envenom Tail is just 1, but it can also be like a 1 attack, 3 3, -2, damage 6. But she's still got 2d6 attacks for the Crown of Serpents, but they're effectively nothing. And the Gaze of the Shadow Queen is pretty cool as well. And then we look at some IDNF Deepkin updates. Also, Scourge Privateers, like, awesome. Those IDNFs are totally dead. Versus Scourge Privateers, they don't stand a chance. Bloodthirsty Predators, you can add 1 to the attack statistic of this unit's Ferocious Bites if it's within 3 inches of any models that have any wounds allocated to them. So cool, you know, we're playing on the shark smells blood mythos that we have going around the world. And then Entangled, this is really cool though. You can not pile in if it's been hit. So that's really important. Been hit doesn't have to actually do damage, it just has to hit them. This could make those sharks really, really useful, because you can tag the end of big blobs or big lines and get in a few of your models, and especially if you're playing like the IDNF, like they're sort of leaning you to a couple of sharks. You get 3 sharks into the flank of your opponent's unit that's stretched out, and them not being able to do anything back to you because they can't pile in. It's really cool. There's a lot of sort of like techie sort of play you can do with this. Leviatons, on the other hand, like this Void Drum is cool. The way this makes it want to play with like a bunch of Namadi around it, swimming like fish essentially around a giant turtle, everything makes sense about this. Add 1 to the save rolls as well, so it means it's not contradicting your allegiance ability, so you're going to get +1 to save and count as cover, so which means you can use this to double stack and get +2 armor save, which is cool. And the Razor Shell Harpoon launchers, I mean, they got a little bit of a buff with attacks going up and stuff, but you also get mount traits where you can Ancient trait, if a weapon used for the attack that targets the model has a range characteristic of -1, change the range characteristic for the attack to dash, which is cool. And then we've got some deep mare mounts to add attacks to the thing, but we're going to get full lists of these. It does say D3, so there's only going to be 3. But that's more than enough with mount traits, really, because you're probably not going to have many more of them. And that's it. Like, there's some cool stuff coming out. I can't wait to see what else we're going to get for Broken Realms, but there's a lot of cool information. There'll probably be another video coming out tonight, which I'll try and get one up nice and quick about. Well, we hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, please. All of that means the world to us, so thank you very much if you do. Also, would like to give a special shout out to all our patrons who help support the channel, and our Sinful Guard Militia first, Christian Weir, Philip Ward, Soren and Kenny Lowe, and our Free Guild Regiment members James and AJC. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel as you do. And if you'd like to help support the channel like these fine gentlemen do, you can find a link to our Patreon down in the description below. And in the description below, you'll also find a link to our Discord server where you can come join and chat with me and other members of our fantastic community we've got growing there. Thank you for watching though. Stay safe everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.